Have you ever noticed that the older we become, the clearer life begins to look? Many people reach their 70s and suddenly realize something surprising. A lot of the things they worried about for decades never truly mattered at all. The pressure to impress people, the constant rush to stay busy, the fear of what others might think. These burdens slowly lose their power with time. And when they do, something beautiful happens. Life becomes lighter, calmer, and more peaceful. Turning 70 is not the end of something. In many ways, it is the beginning of a new freedom. A freedom to live more honestly, more gently, and more wisely. By this age, you have already carried responsibilities, faced challenges, and gathered a lifetime of experience. You have given your energy to work, family, and the many duties life placed in front of you. Now the question becomes different. Instead of asking what you must do next, you begin asking what you could finally let go of. In this video, we will talk about 11 things that truly stop mattering once you reach 70. These are habits, worries, and expectations that often steal your peace without giving much in return. When you release them, life opens up in a new and wonderful way. Your days become calmer. Your mind becomes quieter. Your heart becomes lighter. And you begin to enjoy the kind of peace that younger years rarely allow. Let us begin with something many people carry for far too long. Number 1. Trying to impress other people. For much of life, people feel a quiet pressure to prove themselves. We try to show that we are successful enough, capable enough, or respected enough. We worry about how we look, what we own, and whether others approve of our choices. But by the time you reach 70, something important becomes clear. The opinions of others do not define the value of your life. You have already lived your story. You have worked hard, loved deeply, and faced moments that shaped who you are today. There is no longer a need to perform for the approval of others. I once heard about a 75-year-old retired teacher named Helen. For many years, she worried about how people judged her. She felt nervous about what she wore, how she spoke, and even how she decorated her home. One day, she quietly asked herself a simple question. Why am I still trying to impress people who are busy living their own lives? That small realization changed everything for her. She started wearing brighter colors. She began painting again, something she had loved when she was younger. She laughed more freely and worried less about small opinions. The moment she stopped trying to impress everyone, her life felt lighter. After 70, your value is not something that needs to be proven. It is something that already exists. Number 2, comparing your life to others. Comparison is a habit that quietly follows many people through life. We look at what others have, where they live, or how their families seem to be doing. Sometimes we measure our own lives against theirs and feel we have fallen short in some way. But comparison loses its meaning with age. Every life follows a different road. Some paths are smooth, while others carry unexpected turns. By 70, you begin to understand that there was never one perfect way to live. I remember a story about two old friends who met after many years apart. One had traveled the world and built a successful business. The other had lived in the same town most of his life, raising children and working at a small local shop. At first glance, their lives looked very different. But as they sat together and talked, something beautiful became clear. Both men felt grateful for the lives they had lived. If you stay with me, then write continue below. Happiness had not come from comparison. It had come from appreciation. When you stop comparing your journey to someone else's, a quiet peace begins to grow. You begin to see your own life with kindness rather than judgment. Number 3, trying to look young for everyone else. Aging is something our society often treats like a problem. Many people feel pressure to hide gray hair, erase wrinkles, or pretend they are younger than they truly are. But reaching 70 brings a different perspective. Your face tells a story. Every line and every mark reflects years of laughter, learning, and survival. These are not flaws. They are signs of a life fully lived. There was a woman in my neighborhood who once worried constantly about looking old. She dyed her hair every few weeks and avoided photographs because she feared how she appeared. Then one day she made a simple decision. She allowed her natural gray hair to grow in. To her surprise, she felt a deep sense of relief. She no longer spent time worrying about appearances. Instead, she spent her mornings walking in the park and meeting friends for coffee. Her confidence did not come from looking young. It came from accepting herself exactly as she was. Her dignity is not found in pretending to be younger. It is found in embracing the wisdom that comes with age. Number 4, keeping every relationship alive. As we grow older, we begin to understand something about relationships. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Some friendships fade naturally with time. Others become distant as life moves in different directions. In younger years, people often feel responsible for holding every relationship together. We attend every gathering, respond to every request, and try to keep everyone happy. But by 70, your energy becomes more precious. A man named Robert once shared that he spent many years maintaining friendships that no longer brought him joy. He felt obligated to attend events and conversations that left him tired rather than fulfilled. Eventually, he made a quiet decision. He would focus only on relationships that felt genuine and supportive. Over time, his social circle became smaller, but it also became warmer and more meaningful. Letting some relationships go does not mean you are unkind. It simply means you are choosing peace. Number 5, being busy just to feel important. For decades, many people measure their value by how busy they are. Work schedules, endless tasks, and full calendars can make us feel productive and needed. But once you reach 70, a beautiful truth appears. You no longer need to prove your worth through exhaustion. One retired engineer once said that the hardest part of retirement was learning how to slow down. At first, he filled every hour with new projects and commitments because he feared feeling useless. But over time, he realized something surprising. The quiet moments were the most valuable. He began enjoying slow mornings with a cup of tea. He took peaceful walks and spent afternoons reading books he had once been too busy to open. In those quiet moments, he discovered a deeper kind of happiness. Being busy is not the same as living fully. Sometimes the most meaningful days are the calmest ones. Let us continue with more themes that slowly lose their importance once we reach this beautiful stage of life. Number 6, trying to control everything. For many years, people feel responsible for keeping life organized and secure. We manage family matters, worry about finances, guide our children, and try to make sure everything goes according to plan. Control can feel like protection. It can feel like love. But after 70, we begin to understand that not everything in life can be controlled. And more importantly, not everything should be. There was a man named Frank who spent years worrying about his adult children. He constantly offered advice about their careers, their spending, and their decisions. His intentions were good. He simply wanted them to live safely and wisely. But his worry slowly created tension. One afternoon, his daughter gently said something that stayed with him. She said, "Dad, you already raised us well. Now you have to trust us to live our own lives." That moment changed his perspective. Frank began letting go of the need to guide every decision. Instead of worrying, he listened more and trusted more. As he released that control, something unexpected happened. His relationships became calmer and warmer. Peace often arrives when we loosen our grip on things we were never meant to control. Number 7, worrying about mistakes from the past. Almost everyone carries a few regrets from earlier years. Maybe there was a decision we wish we had handled differently. Maybe there was a moment when we hurt someone without meaning to. These memories can quietly follow us for decades. But after 70, there comes a moment when we realize that holding on to guilt does not change the past. It only steals peace from the present. I once heard about a grandmother who carried deep regret about choices she made when she was younger. She believed she had not always been the perfect parent. For years, she silently blamed herself for things she wished she could undo. One day, her daughter sat beside her and said something very simple. She said, "Mom, we never needed a perfect parent. We only needed you." That conversation lifted a weight from her heart. She realized that life is not built on perfection. It is built on love, effort, and learning along the way. When you forgive yourself, your heart becomes lighter. The past becomes a teacher instead of a burden. Number 8, trying to keep up with younger people. Every stage of life has its own rhythm. In youth, the pace is fast and energetic. There are careers to build, families to raise, and goals to chase. But after 70, life moves differently. Some people struggle with this change. They try to keep the same speed they had in their 30s or 40s. They compare their energy to younger generations and feel frustrated when their bodies ask them to slow down. But slowing down is not weakness, it is wisdom. There was a 72-year-old man who used to run every morning. When his knees began to ache, he felt disappointed. He believed slowing down meant losing strength. But eventually, he changed his routine. Instead of running, he started walking peacefully through a nearby park. During those quiet walks, he began noticing things he had once rushed past: birds singing in the trees, the warmth of sunlight in the morning, the calm rhythm of his breathing. He later said something beautiful. He said he had not lost his pace, he had simply found a better one. Your life does not need to move as quickly as it once did. It only needs to move in a way that feels peaceful. Number 9, owning more and more things. When people are younger, life often becomes filled with possessions. We buy bigger homes, collect furniture, gather decorations, and hold on to objects that once seemed important. But after 70, many people begin to discover a quiet truth. Too many things can feel heavy. I once met a widow who decided to move into a smaller home after her children had grown. At first, she felt uncertain about letting go of many belongings she had collected over the years. But once the move was finished, she felt something she had not expected: relief. Her home felt peaceful and easy to manage. Cleaning took less time. Her mind felt calmer without so much clutter around her. Instead of focusing on possessions, she focused on experiences. She spent more time visiting friends, reading, and enjoying quiet evenings. Sometimes happiness grows when life becomes simpler. Number 10, trying to solve everyone's problems. Many older adults have spent their lives helping others. They cared for children, supported friends, and guided family members through difficult moments. Helping others is a beautiful part of life. But after 70, it is important to remember something. You can offer love and wisdom without carrying every burden yourself. A mother once shared that she felt responsible for fixing every problem her adult children faced. When they struggled, she struggled. When they worried, she worried even more. Eventually, she realized that constant rescue was exhausting both for her and for them. So she made a gentle change. She still listened and offered advice, but she allowed them to solve their own challenges. Instead of carrying their stress, she offered encouragement and trust. Love does not always mean fixing everything. Sometimes love simply means standing beside someone while they learn their own lessons. Number 11, fear of what others think about your choices. This may be the most freeing realization of all. For many years, people worry about how their decisions appear to others. We wonder whether our lifestyle, hobbies, or choices will be judged. But after 70, a beautiful sense of independence begins to appear. You start to understand that your life belongs to you. There was a 74-year-old man who had always dreamed of traveling. Throughout his younger years, responsibilities kept him close to home. Work, family duties, and financial concerns always came first. When he finally retired, he decided to take a trip alone for the first time in his life. At first, he worried about what others might say, but once he began his journey, he felt an incredible sense of freedom. He explored new places, met new people, and discovered parts of the world he had only seen in books. Later, he said something very simple. He said he wished he had worried less about opinions and followed his curiosity sooner. Your life does not need to match anyone else's expectations. As we come to the end of this conversation, take a quiet moment to reflect on these 11 things that slowly lose their importance after 70. Chasing approval, comparing your life, trying to stay endlessly busy, worrying about appearances, or holding on to past mistakes. These are weights many people carry for far too long. But the later years of life offer a wonderful opportunity. An opportunity to set those burdens down. Life after 70 is not about doing more. It is about living more wisely. It is about enjoying the calm mornings, the laughter of family, and the peaceful moments that once passed too quickly. When you release what no longer matters, you create space for the things that truly do. If this message spoke to your heart today, share your thoughts in the comments, write "Living Lighter Now," and tell us where you are watching from. Your stories inspire others who may be walking the same path. And if you enjoy calm and thoughtful conversations like this, follow Elderly Roots for more gentle guidance to help you live peacefully, safely, and beautifully in every stage of life.